Alright, in this video we are going to be replacing this intake boot here on my 1999 Toyota 4Runner. Now this is the 3.4 liter V6 that will go for a Tacoma, a Tundra, or a 4Runner, and they all have the same intake system, probably with some slight variation, but over time this intake boot does deteriorate. You can see that it's kind of cracking and it's dry rotted, and it's, you know, it is a bit of flex in the intake system, so it does see a fair amount of wear. And while your mass airflow sensor is downstream down here, I'm not sure how much effect the fact that there are cracks and air getting in through here, how much effect that has on the engine as it is running, but nonetheless, I don't want to have this brittle piece of plastic or rubber in here, so I went ahead and I bought a new one. This one is from Amazon. It was about 10 bucks, and the quality does show. The Toyota version of this is around $40, so you know, I wanted to take my chance here on this $10 one, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I learned my lesson, but from what I saw, a lot of people have used this before, and it worked out pretty well. The only thing is that this vacuum line here needs to be stretched a little bit, as far as I can tell, but nonetheless, all we really need for this job is a screwdriver and a bit of patience to work this off of this intake piece, and then the aluminum intake here on the block. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so there are two clamps on this piece of rubber. You've got one here on the back side and then one on this side as well. So it's just a Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to go ahead and loosen these up, and it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so now I have both of these clamps loosened up. This one's a bit stuck, so maybe I need to work it a little bit more. But next up, we want to go ahead and take this back hose off, and that should just be a friction fit that you can slide right off. So it might need a little bit of motivation, but it should just slide off like so. Now we can try and wiggle this thing a little bit, see if it wants to free. There are little teeth here, or little keys you could say, on both the front side and back side here of this intake bit, so you might have to kind of pull and work it so you can kind of slide it around, but it should come off. Alright, so I found it easier just to go ahead and undo the silencer, which is just this one little clip here on the back side, this one little tension clip. And that way it was easier to go ahead and wiggle this thing out, and I can go ahead and pull this off for you guys. Okay, so now here is the piece, and you know, it did crack a little bit more as I was going to pull it out, but you can see right along this seam here is where there was that big crack that you could initially see, and then there were more developing, and then there was this crack right here that's, you know, a good bit worse now, but overall you can definitely tell that the quality on this part far surpasses that of the Amazon part, which I expected. I mean, it's only $10, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and slap that one in there. Okay, so I went ahead and put both of these clamps in place, and I'm going to go ahead and start on this side, just sliding it in, and make sure, you know, you're lining up that little keyway or that little tooth as you put it on, so that's seated pretty well right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this silencer and try and wiggle it in here. Alright, so now the new boot is in there right here, and you can see there's one of the little keys, and there's also a key on the bottom side there that you need to line up as well. So it might take a minute to get it all squared away, and then you can see that there's that little notch right there, and then I've got the clamp. And then so now you want to make sure if you did loosen this silencer that you tighten down this clamp as well so it doesn't go anywhere. And if there are any vacuum lines that you may have unplugged or moved, go ahead and pop those in as well. So now I want to go ahead and put this back line back on. They said that it was a bit of a snug fit, so let's see here. And they weren't lying. I'm not super surprised. There it goes. So it just clipped in there. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. It just clips in. So now all we need to do is tighten up 1, 2, and 3 clamps here, and we should be good to go. Alright, so that wraps up the job. Make sure you have those 3 clamps tightened up, or just those 2 if you only took off the ones that are on this intake boot. Make sure you've got those vacuum lines reconnected, especially that one up top there. And other than that, you're done. This job should take you no more than about 30 minutes. And I'll put the link for the part that I got down in the description. Hopefully it works well. The reviews are pretty good on it, so hopefully it is a good $10 spent. But other than that, best of luck to you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.